Yeah, our baseball team's excited about going to Vanderbilt to start conference play. There'll be a lot of Auburn up there with the basketball team in the SEC basketball tournament, so a lot of excitement in that area. A lot of excitement for the Auburn fans, and hopefully some of the family can find their way over and watch a baseball game or two this weekend as well. So a great Vanderbilt team. Looks like a consensus top 10 national ranked team. That's how we'll start off conference play for the first couple of weeks, but all 10 weeks always feel the same with the challenges that are ahead and high quality. So we'll get started off with a ball club that's played really well. Just pitching, I've always thought of Vanderbilt from a pitching standpoint. Again, just looking at some metrics of really us. The only thing I brought was our roster today because I'm still focused on us more than others. But if you take a little glance at Vanderbilt, and we were looking at some stuff with us with our fastballs, especially the four-seam fastball variety, how our fastballs have been good, but we can feel like we can pitch better. That was a consistency message we gave to our pitching staff, and you just stumble on, again, out of 300 schools, who would be up top, and Vanderbilt would land there again, and they do. So real arms. I think the only difference for our guys, if you ask me what could be different, is I just think the talent of arms over a three-game series could be the difference. I think we've seen good hitters. I think we've seen great arms. But the collection from first pitch on Friday till Sunday, I think Vanderbilt is going to continue to throw talent at us, one right after the other, linked up. So that'll be the challenge for our offense, is to just stay consistent and relentless in their at-bats, and then wake up Sunday and see where we're at. But I'm looking for, again, talent like always on the mound. A couple of guys can really steal bases. We'll probably need to work some short game stuff. Get up there, practice today on the turf. I think it's essential on sliding into bases, running bases, fielding the ball. You can actually use the turf if you get caught in a six-hole and have to throw a baseball. So all those are things that, for us to get acclimated, I think this is our first game on turf this year, and we usually get some reps on that just naturally through the schedule, but haven't got that yet. So tonight's practice will be important to get some things done in an hour and a half or whatever to get ready for a great series.
What's the plan for you in terms of pitching and how you guys will approach the weekend?
Yeah, you've heard the word openers and stuff. I would love for guys to go full starts. I think we're putting guys, we took Joseph out, of course. Everything's been positive. I think the last piece for Joseph is just within himself. I think with getting over surgery, getting comfortable, getting a rhythm going, I think he's in a good place. I think this last step he has to take himself. And we're here for him and every resource we got. But at some point in time, a player has to take that next step. It was good enough and it was believable enough, and we're behind it enough that we'll plug him back in Sunday. We'll keep Myers in game 2 like we did last week. There's still some things he's working on that needs to improve and get better. And then that'll be also, we'll be in that consistent spot there in game 1. You know, what determines moving forward will be, again, off a collection of what you see this week. This midweek, we threw some of our guys just to get work, like a bullpen, competitive in a game, and I thought it was the best pitch game that we had this year, landing our off speed. I thought Will Cannon was the best he's been this year. Armstrong was only an inning, but it was exciting, and Bauman finished the ball game up. So before you start moving those pieces to other parts of the rotation, we're going to give this crew that's worked hard. And so it's been pretty consistent outside of taking Joseph out for that day. And, you know, Herbert Holtz, you know, some of these guys, Herbert Holtz, Watts, some of these guys have kind of got to step in and elongate if we need them, if one of our starters don't get as deep as we want. But I think we'll stay kind of where we're at, not be changing roles yet, but be open to that moving forward. But, you know, we believe this is our best path of keeping everybody in the job that they've been preparing for and working for to go Alsop and Myers and Gonzalez this weekend.
I know you've had some guys under the weather. Does it look like you've got pretty much everybody available?
I think they're back. I just, you know, even Bobby Pierce took batting practice Tuesday. He did go with us to Huntsville, but he seemed to be hit the worst, until Tuesday. I hadn't really seen him since like 1 minute Friday, so they took him away from us. Weiss was out, did not travel. He's back, and so I think they'll be available to play. I do, Bill. The thing is, Bobby's missed some at-bats for over a week now, and batting practice doesn't get you ready for a game. And they might play great. He might get 7 hits on Friday night, but from a coach's standpoint, you're just like, okay, they're back, but are they 100%? Are they in rhythm the way they worked hard to get in a rhythm with playing a bunch of games? So it's going around. Cooper McMurray was hit hard and didn't miss a beat. So this thing, for whatever reason, what's went through us has affected people differently. And I know I'm rambling, but I think it should be note made in the past. We've struggled in those moments that we need to stay healthy to be competitive and stay competitive. Carter Wright, the 2 games he caught, Sunday and Tuesday, you didn't even know he was back there. That's how good he was, catching the ball, throwing the ball, working with teeth, and he hadn't really had a meaningful inning of catching yet and jumped right in there. Caden Green jumped right in at shortstop, hit a home run, got a double play ball there in the first inning. Was just amazing for us. I was really proud to see some guys step up and play well, not just fill a hole of a guy being out that you said is a starter and playing every day, but some depth come in there and play at a high level. Gavin Miller's had a good run here. So I think it's really important to mention those 3 guys. And hopefully our guys are back, play at full speed, but I love how the depth's played. From when we played Air Force to Tuesday, that was very concerning moments there with some guys being out, but the guys have hung in there, and hopefully we can turn the corner, but there may be some linger to it. We'll find out as we get back on the bus this morning and head to Nashville.
Yes, you mentioned Gavin Miller. You've talked about players making the lineup for you. Is he a guy that is pushing for a more consistent starting position right now?
I think so. He hit the big home run, I think, against Austin Peay, if I'm not mistaken, and then I think he had 2 hits the other night, and I thought he had another grand slam, to be honest with you, to left field. He got loft, he got the ball up to the pull side to left field. Didn't leave the yard, but it's just a few feet from it, and so we really put that in the good at bat category. So he's played good. He's handled his balls. He's dominated routine at third base, and that makes a huge difference. So yeah, I think he's earned more. We got Eric Guevara that potentially could come back in a couple of weeks, so that'd be another infielder to add to the mix. He's a guy that we initially thought would be out for the entire season. We hadn't had that surgery. I know it's a football, basketball, they can have that knee surgery. We just haven't had it. I haven't been a part of that in 30 years. And we thought he was out for the year, but it looks like he might be able to be in a good enough place to, can we get him in the mix somehow? So it's what looked thin going into the fall looks like a fuller, more deeper position around that infield than it was. So, but Gavin's earned a lot. Fabian made the most of it when he got in there 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it looks like Miller's following suit in that same manner.
I guess just kind of going back to the midweek, Connor, and I know you mentioned, you think that was one of your guys' better pitching games so far. What have you seen out of him in those midweek starts? And then also, is he somebody who you might want to try to get some experience against the SEC coming up, or do you want to kind of keep him set in that midweek role?
Have you bugged my locker room or bugged my car or something? What he's done that our guys can learn from is being able to land that. I mean, he's got a pitch. He's got probably a mid-80s breaking pitch slider. He can slow it down. It's bigger. He can speed it up, and it's sharper than a dart, if you will, and he can land it. And it's not giving up a lot of hits right now. So it's really about getting a recipe. Like, I think Joseph can get in that flow. I think when you see, man, hitters are sometimes, that's who they are. They can get better with the strike zone and a few little things. But, like, hitters are born, and they've always hit. A pitcher, if you can stay in the fight, they can absolutely create a recipe. And you can see electric arms just flow. You can see guys are like, don't have as much talent, but if they have a recipe, they're tough. He would be probably the top of the heap of, like, if you made an adjustment in the rotation, it would be him. And that'd be the most viable option that you would have from what you just seen. If the players are making the lineup out, then he might be the next man up. So we'll see how this weekend goes, but that's a really good point. And that would be really interesting at the end of the weekend. You're riding back from Vanderbilt. If you felt like you needed to make a move, you know, you'd probably do something different Tuesday because he has done an amazing job. And I don't want to discount Tuesday. That's the reason, one of the reasons why we hadn't made a move. How important are those midweeks that this program has learned the last couple of years to be competitive in those, because it builds a resume and it's very important. So, but you can't deny how he's pitched. And I don't know what it was, 1 or 2 hits the other night. We got a lot going on. We're either playing every day or on the road recruiting. There's a lot going on, so everything's getting jumbled for me a little bit. But he's pitched like a guy that deserves to pitch on the weekend, and I'm trying to create value and consistency and telling them every day matters a whole bunch. But conference does start, and I'm aware of that. And those are things we're tracking on. So that's why I said you must have my locker room bugged or something.
Is Cam Tilley a guy that's also in the mix to be a star potentially, or do you really like what he does for you guys in the bullpen?
Yeah, I think if you want to be I'm going to say the C words can change as you go through a year, but if you want to be a competitive team in this league, that middle of the game, that back end of the game is important. And if you have a leak somewhere, and if you go start chasing these leaks everywhere, I think he's done a phenomenal job. And, you know, I think right now, Brian, what I want Cam Tilley to do is keep doing an amazing job right there behind the starter, because that is a huge, huge piece, a huge role. And so before I ask him to do something else, I want to be competitive on game 1 of an SEC series, inning 1 to 9, maybe more. Same thing Saturday, 1 to 9, 1 to 9. And I think a Tilley, a Bauman, a Cannon, an Armstrong, hopefully Watts is moving towards that. Hopefully these guys have worked so hard on a roll. I don't want to change it now when every piece of these games are important, the beginning, the middle, and the end. So, again, another viable option. But I kind of like the McBride thing as I'm going in my head, because that doesn't affect roles on the weekend. So, but is he good enough? Absolutely. Because everybody thinks they're a starter, but this is a Southeastern Conference. This is the best amateur baseball on earth. And what can happen out of here, out of a bullpen, and you're wanting to be a major leaguer or something like that, Cam Tilley could walk that road. He's a long way from it, but he could. And I refer back to 2022 recently, where we can have a guy in the bullpen, a guy finishing games, and you can still go in the second round. I've had a first rounder out of the bullpen in Southeastern Conference. This is the conference where if you can just handle a role and dominate it and do it and be competitive in this league, you don't necessarily have to start. This is that one league where that's proven. There's a track record of, I can say, you still can go as high or higher than you would have went in another role, and throwing out of the bullpen is respected professionally here in our league. So I feel like he's in a good way, and I don't want to mess with it right now with Cam Tilley, and I hope he's able to do this same thing as we start up this weekend.